if you were to come to our house and you were to watch our kids throughout the week, you would legit think we're unschoolers, because it doesn't look like, unless you know what you're looking for, our kids are necessarily studying. Because first of all, they're wherever they want to be. Sometimes they're on rollerblades, sometimes they're upside down on the couch, sometimes they're in a bedroom. They're all over the place. Sometimes they're walking around the yard. Our son today, that's 13, spent
awesome.
6 hours outside taking nails out of boards that his dad wanted to do while listening to an audiobook.
And was absolutely in heaven,
Yeah.
doing hard work in the sunshine, blisters on his hands, learning from a great book. I'm like,
That
yes,
to me is a great
that's
education.
a great day.
Now, as far as the traditional academics part, for me, and I think it was something I kind of struggled with for a while, because we all of us have ingrained within us, and it may come from this history of where, you know, this traditional education was important. And it's been important. I'm not going to discount the importance that traditional education has played in the development of society. It's played an important role. And so we all kind of have that there. For me, I in some ways view it as exposure to new ideas, because when they go through, and for me, I'm using an online curriculum. It's video based, it's self-paced, so they can do it whenever they want, morning, afternoon. Like my girls are doing theirs right now. It's 7 p.m., but they're doing their education right now so that they can watch a movie in Portuguese after we're done. So they can do it any time of the day. To me, it's simply it's another way to introduce them. Like I was talking about, all the neural connections. It's another way for them to make more neural connections, because otherwise on their own, with what I can provide or what I introduce to them, I can't include everything. So I like to have an outside source that's saying like, oh, today we're talking about Mount Rushmore, or today we're talking about whatever, things that they're not naturally going to be exposed to without that curriculum. But I also view it as something that I don't expect them to spend tons of time on, especially if they're not really into it. If they're interested and they want to, great. But for a lot of them, it's kind of checking the box, and I'm fine with that. I'm okay with them just checking the box. I watched one video today, check, I'm done. And I'm going to go on and do the things I really want to do, like painting or crafting or drawing or music.
Or reading. We're very heavy on the books.
And so that's how it looks. It looks like the official traditional academic stuff is pretty short. It's kind of a check the box thing. It's still giving them that exposure to things they would not necessarily get otherwise. But then they get to dive into the things that they really love, which I feel is where the most power is, because that's the thing that's going to lay the foundation for the rest of their life. Every single one of us have passions and interests that will determine how we live our life and potentially how we earn an income if we allow ourselves to follow and pursue and develop those passions. And so for me, that's the most important part for my kids. I want them to discover their passions. I want them to pursue their passions. I want them to know how to complete projects. One of the things all of my kids are doing currently, the 4 that are still at home, is cross-stitching. So that's part of their education. They spend time cross-stitching, because learning to do projects like that is super powerful, because you learn how to start and hopefully finish projects. And that is a valuable skill to have as you grow up, because many adults today can't even start and finish projects, right? You have to learn how to do these things. All of these are part of the holistic development. We have to learn project management, time management, energy management, planning, goal setting, and accomplishing. All of that comes into play when you allow kids to direct their day, which is another reason I take the approach they do. They're in charge. They're in charge of when they learn. They're in charge of what they learn, for, within reason, and where they learn it. All of that is up to them. They're the one making those decisions, having received this framework of guidance from me.
And boundaries.
And certain boundaries, but then it's up to them. And those skills right there are way more important than what they're actually learning.